The snow fell softly on the colony world of Draken 7, where humanity and the Drakari had forged an uneasy peace after the Terminus War. Kylie stood outside the small cafe, her crimson scales catching the glow of Christmas lights strung across the street. She checked her wristcom for the third time. Connor was late. Again, 45 minutes late, to be precise. Any sensible Drakari female would have left by now. Her clutch sisters had warned her about human unpredictability, about their strange customs, and their even stranger concept of fashionably late. But Kylie had read the reports. She knew what Connor had done during the war. She knew why humans were different. The cafe door chimed as a Centaurian couple exited, their multiple eyes glancing at her with curiosity. A lone Drakari woman waiting in the cold on Christmas Eve was an unusual sight. Kylie pulled her thermal cloak tighter, her tail curling around her legs for warmth. The gesture was unconscious, a remnant of her homeworld physiology that served little purpose on this temperate colony. "You're still here." Kylie turned. Connor stood a few meters away, his breath forming small clouds in the winter air. He wore a simple jacket, no formal attire, and his face bore the weathered look of someone who had seen too much. His right arm hung stiffly at his side, the prosthetic one, she realized. The one he'd received after the Battle of Proxima Gate. "You came," Kylie said, keeping her voice neutral. Drakari emotional protocols demanded restraint, but her tail betrayed her, unfurling slightly. Connor approached slowly, each step measured. "I'm sorry. I got stuck at the memorial. Lost track of time." The memorial? Of course. Today marked the 5th anniversary of the Terminus War's end. The day humans had done the impossible, held the line at Proxima Gate against a Krelix armada 3 times their size, buying time for the evacuation fleets. Connor had been there. His entire unit had been there. Only he walked away. "I understand," Kylie said, and she meant it. The Drakari had their own memorials, their own ghosts. Connor gestured toward the cafe. "Still want to do this?" "I'd understand if I waited this long," Kylie interrupted. "What's another hour?" Something flickered in Connor's eyes. Surprise? Relief? Human expressions were still difficult for her to parse. He held the cafe door open, and Kylie walked through, the warmth of the interior washing over her scales. They found a corner booth, away from the main crowd. A human server approached, an older woman with kind eyes who seemed to recognize Connor. She simply nodded and left menus before departing without a word. "Regular spot?" Kylie asked. "Used to be." "Before." Connor didn't elaborate on what before meant, but Kylie didn't need clarification. They ordered coffee for Connor, a heated mineral drink for Kylie. The silence stretched between them, but it wasn't uncomfortable. Outside, carolers began singing in the square, their voices carrying the ancient melodies of Earth's winter celebrations. "Your profile said you were a translator," Connor said finally. "For the diplomatic corps." Kylie nodded. "I specialize in human idioms. They're complex. That's a polite way of saying we don't make sense." "You make sense," Kylie corrected. "Just not in ways most species expect." Connor smiled, the expression brief but genuine. "Is that why you agreed to this? To study human behavior up close?" Kylie felt her scales flush, a Drakari blush. "No. I agreed because I read your file." The smile faded. "The Corps sent you my military record?" "Public information. Battle of Proxima Gate. Lieutenant Connor Hayes, 3rd Marine Division. Held position for 72 hours against impossible odds. Recommended for the Terran Star." Kylie paused. "You refused it." "The ones who deserved it didn't make it back," Connor said quietly. There it was. The human trait that baffled every species in the Galactic Assembly. Their inability to accept their own exceptionalism. The Krelix fought for glory. The Centaurians for profit. The Drakari for honor. But humans? Humans fought for each other and considered themselves ordinary for doing so. "That's why I waited," Kylie said. "Any soldier can fight, but only humans fight like that, then claim it means nothing." Connor looked up sharply. "It meant everything. Just not what they wanted to give me medals for." The server returned with their drinks. Connor wrapped his hands around the cup, and Kylie noticed how his prosthetic fingers moved with perfect precision, but his organic hand trembled slightly. Combat stress syndrome. Her diplomatic training had covered it extensively. "Do you know why the Drakari respect humans?" Kylie asked. "The war. Before the war. When first contact happened. Kylie sipped her drink, letting the minerals warm her from within. The Krelliks were raiding our outer colonies. Standard predation, they'd done it for centuries. We fought back, always, but never decisively. Then humans arrived. Connor listened, his attention complete in that uniquely human way. Your diplomats negotiated for 3 days. Fair trade routes, mutual defense, cultural exchange. Standard procedure. Then the Krelliks hit another Drakari colony. Kylie's tail coiled, and your diplomats stopped negotiating. They sent one message to the Krelliks: leave them alone. They're with us now. I remember hearing about that, Connor said. The Krelliks didn't take it well. They attacked a human patrol ship. Kylie's eyes gleamed. Your fleet response was overwhelming. You didn't invade Krellik space, didn't demand territory. You just made it clear that Drakari colonies were off limits. And when the Krelliks tested that boundary again, you reinforced it. Again and again. We'd given our word, Connor said simply. Exactly. Kylie leaned forward. Every species makes alliances. But humans? You treat promises like physics, immutable laws. The Krelliks learned. The Centaurians learned. And when the Terminus War came, everyone learned what happens when humans decide something is worth protecting. Connor's jaw tightened. A lot of people died for that lesson. A lot of people survived because of it, Kylie countered. 3 billion evacuees made it out of the Proxima system. My clutch sister and her younglings were among them. The revelation hung in the air. Connor's eyes widened slightly. Kylie, so when I saw your profile on the dating network, when I read what you'd done, I thought. She paused, searching for the right human idiom. I thought maybe I should at least meet the person who gave my family a future. Connor sat back, his expression unreadable. The carolers outside finished their song, and for a moment, only the gentle murmur of cafe conversation filled the space. I'm not a hero, Connor said finally. I'm just a guy who made it back when others didn't. I know, Kylie said. That's the most human thing about you. Connor met her eyes, and something passed between them. Understanding, perhaps. Recognition. Two people from different worlds, shaped by the same war, sitting in a cafe on Christmas Eve because sometimes waiting was its own form of courage. You want to order some actual food? Connor asked. I'm buying. Kylie's tail unfurled completely, a Drakari expression of contentment. I'd like that. Outside, the snow continued to fall, and the universe kept turning. But in that moment, in that small cafe on a colony world built from war's ashes, a human veteran and a Drakari translator shared a meal and began to write their own story. One where being late was forgiven, waiting was rewarded, and the future was something worth building together, because that's what humans did. They kept their promises, honored their fallen, and somehow, impossibly, found hope in the aftermath. And now, Kylie understood why the galaxy would never be the same.